Welcome to Road Scouts. For those who are new to the channel, we're dedicated in showing you an uncut version of a route from point A to point B, and we will see establishments, places of interests. So, our trip begins. We're maybe 8 minutes away from the C5, and I'm really dedicated in showing you the uncut version. So, in order for me to entertain you, I made a burger. So, by the time we get to the C5 area, this will be done already, right? So, this is a 1 kilogram beef. Medyo dapat gamitin yung may taba-taba. So, huwag kayo bibili ng beef na nag-exercise. Sabihin nyo doon sa binibila ninyo, uy, yung medyo tamad na beef ah. Yan, nilagyan ko ng konting asin. So, I think that was 2 teaspoons. And I'm putting oil here as a binder. I don't use any binder, but only oil. Because it will bind it if you chill the meat. So, lagyan nyo lang siya sa ref, maybe for an hour. So, to let the flavors sink in. I only use salt and pepper here. I want the more natural taste of beef when it comes to burger. So, yan, masamasahin lang ninyo. And para kayo nagmamasa ng bread. Right? So, para pumasok talaga yung salt. And then put it in the fridge, chill it for maybe an hour. Now, I don't like garlic in the patty itself kasi maglalasang longganisa yun for, for my taste. But I'm cutting up or slicing up garlic here so I can create a garlic oil. So ginagawa ko, gagamitin ko yung garlic na yan para mapalasa ko yung oil. So when I use it to caramelize the onions, medyo mas maganda yung lasa niya. So I don't need to use much salt. And then we're also going to put the mushroom on top of it as toppings. So you'll see later. Right? So by the way, as I said, we'll wait until the actual C5 Southlink Expressway comes in. This is what I was talking about. I'm going to cook the garlic in maybe low heat kasi hindi ko siya sinusunog eh. So what I want to do is I want the flavors to uh, transfer to the oil. Kasi 'di ba, yun naman ang purpose ng pagigisa eh. Ang pagigisa talaga is to transfer yung flavor ng ginigisa ninyo ng spices sa oil. Kasi yung oil yung nagdadala ng flavor sa mga taste buds natin. Okay? So we're still heading to C5 there on the map to the right. So don't take your eyes off the road, guys. I know there's a lot of things going on here. And that's exactly what we want to achieve. Kasi kung lalagay ko lang yung road itself, baka mabore kayo. Right? So the garlic is cooked. Now I'm going to caramelize the onions. Okay. And once this is cooked, I'm going to put a little bit of salt, then throw in the mushrooms there. Okay, and then maybe put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, yung Worcestershire. Katulad nga tawag natin sa Manila. Worcestershire, right? Worcestershire sauce. Lagay natin yun dyan. Lagay nyo rin ng pepper. Yeah, season to taste. So, bahala na kayo. Pero for me, just a little bit of salt. Kung wala kayong Worcester sauce, maybe yung Maggi, lagyan nyo lang ng konti. Just para maglagay nyo lang ng konting yung tinatawag ng mga Japanese na or Chinese ng umami, di ba? So, sautein niyo yan hanggang mag-caramelize siya. Tapos lagay niyo yung before siya mag-caramelize, lagay niyo yung yung mushrooms. Bago niyo pala ilagay yung mushrooms, turn up the heat kasi ayaw niyo magtubig yung mushroom eh. Diba? So you want to cook the mushroom without actually allowing it to water off. Right? So yun lang ginagawa ko. Yan. So sautay-sautay tayo habang nag-aantay tayo ng C5. Yung mapa natin nasa kanan. So itong part na to guys, parallel sa yung dapat na main road na dinadaanan natin. But it's traffic there. So I decided to use this road. You will still end up in C5. Anyway, you'll see that in our GPS right now, we'll still end up in C5 there. It's just that we're parallel to where we're supposed to be. Okay? Yan. Nasa ano tayo? I think Las Piñas to eh. Or Paranaque. I don't know exactly but isa doon sa mga yon. Medyo kasi vague na sa akin. Ayan, ngayon. Yung 1 kilo ng meat, I was able to make 12 patties. Medyo marami tayong papakainin ngayong araw na to. And the way I press it is I use, yun nga, kung meron kayong dalawang sangkalan, pagpatuloy niyan, meron ako dalawang plastic na sangkalan eh. Or if you don't have it, maybe a plate. Okay, so lagyan nyo ng konting oil yung surface nun para hindi dumikit. Okay. So medyo ba manipis-nipis yung patties natin for today because I wanted to make more. But so this turned up maybe 90 milligrams per patty. Okay, and for me I'm using yung grill yung Korean grill. Ano ba tawag dyan? Samgyupsal or Samgyupsal, depending on how people pronounce it, right? So I prefer this because it has this parang grill effect. So medyo mas maamoy siya, mas mabango. I'll probably cook it maybe 4 to 6 minutes depending on the doneness that you like, right? And when I think that one of the sides is done and I'm not going to flip it over, then I'll put the cheese on top of it so it melts. Malapit na pala tayo sa C5. So this is a very timely. So lagay ko yung cheese dyan so it melts. And it really sizzles. Kung naaamoy nilang amoy nito, it's really, smelling really good. Right? So I would probably cook it 4 to 6 minutes, maybe 3 minutes on each side. So there you go. Okay. And by this time, I'll be preparing my buns. So lagyan ko ketchup. If you want mayonnaise, lagyan nyo rin ng mayonnaise. Yung iba nilalagyan yung mayonnaise at banana ketchup. It depends on you now what kind of condiments you prefer. For me, I just like mayonnaise and tomato ketchup. Right? Yan. So, ito yung sabi ko na medyo flavorful siya kasi grilled siya eh. So, hindi siya pan cook. By the way, nasa C5 na tayo. We'll talk about C5 later. Right, so I'll put my 2 patties there. So it's actually a double patty burger. And then I'll put the caramelized, onion and mushrooms. Okay? So kung gusto niyo lagyan niyo ng kamatis, gusto niyo lagyan niyo ng lettuce, right? For me, I'll put maybe a touch of hot sauce. Wala akong makitang hot sauce eh. Mas preferred ko yung Tabasco, pero ubos na. So meron ako dyan mga KFC and Shakey's. At yun yung niluto natin ngayon. So if you're interested, comment down below and I'll share with you my ingredients for this. Okay? Alright guys, let's talk about C5 now. Okay, so C5 Southlink Expressway. This is a 12 billion peso project and it's 7.7 kilometers long. And it's also known as Carlos P. Garcia, National Route 11 or N11, N128, 129, or 129. Those are actually other roads like Mindanao Avenue, Congressional Avenue, and even part of NLEX. It's just that si C5 mismo nag-encroach dun sa area na yun. So although officially, minsan tawag mo na doon is Mindanao Avenue, let's say. Pero since dumaan yung C5 doon, part pa rin talaga siya ng C5 network or circumferential okay, circumferential road, right? So Okay, so this is a very long road. It passes through Valenzuela, Quezon City, Pasig, Taguig, Paranaque, Las Piñas, and ito ngang C5 Southlink Expressway, bagsak mo, Cavitex. It's just that as of the moment, the Cavitex exit itself is not yet done. Ang news is it will take maybe until the second quarter of 2021. Okay? Marami kayong madadaanan dito, and as you notice also, there are still a lot of developments going on. SM, Ayala, si Senator Manny Villar, all of the well-known developers in the Philippines, Metro Pacific Investment Corp, are in the area and, you know, participating in the overall development of the area. Now, of course, this is near the airport, so this is in the flight path. So they're restricted on the how high the structure they can put up, right? So at this point, it's a three-lane highway or expressway. By the time this is done, yung mga commuters from Cavite will have, a better way to go from Cavite to Taguig area or Pasig area. Okay. Now on top of course, pag nagawa pa yung Skyway Stage 3, we will have this network of roads that will hopefully decongest the traffic. One thing that let's talk about before we, end this area here. If you remember where we came from, there are gaps in the island, and you have to be careful because the vehicles from the opposite lanes use that to turn left. And medyo minsan may mga blind curves na you have to be careful because you don't see them right away. And you're coming in fast. There's motorbikes and you can't really position yourself in the middle of the road. So you just have to be careful. This is what I was talking about, right? Hopefully, NLEX will, install stoplights here to manage the traffic para naman hindi yung burden on not being in an accident is dependent on the skills of the driver. Kasi 'di ba yun naman ang measurement kung maganda yung highway o hindi, 'di ba? Kung maganda yung pagkaka-design. If the highway is not dependent on the skills of the driver. Kung gusto niyo malaman yung idea na yun, dinedevelop ng Netherlands yun ngayon. So may tawag sila doon na when you create highways, the highways must be safe enough to not be dependent on the drivers. So yung burden of being safe should be on the design of the highway and not on the drivers itself, right? So that's the design. I don't know how they're going to implement it, okay? But that's how they would design. That's how the Dutch would design it. We're also at the airport now, so you can see the runways. Runway 06 and 24. 06 means that the direction is 060 or 60 degrees, right? So remember north, south, east, west, right? So 60 degrees. And the opposite of that, of course, will be you add 180, which is the opposite direction. So 060 plus 180 will be 240. In the aviation world, when they name runways, they drop the zeros or they drop the last digit. So 060, which is direction 060, will become runway 06, and 240, which is 240, will become runway 24. Okay, and they also don't pronounce it as 60 or 240. you have to pronounce the or yeah, you have to say every numeric uh, character, right? So 24, runway 24, and runway 06. If if it's only two digits, you have to prefix the name of the runway with a zero. Okay? But you still drop the last digits. Itong part na to, I don't know what's the plan here. If it's gonna be like this forever, or there'll be a spot where there's gonna be an elevated portion. Because I'll be surprised if the expressway will have a portion like this. But maybe, I don't know, maybe if you know, comment down below. If you're aware of the plan here. Personally, I don't know what's gonna be the plan for this one. I've been trying to read up. I can't find anything. So if you have an idea or you know something, okay, just comment down below, right? And we're going to use a different format for this episode. We're going to have maybe some background music. So dadaldal na lang ako at susulpot na lang ako every now and then. Okay. Kasi maraming maganda pag-usapan dito eh. Katulad si Runway, di ba? Yan. So busy. May isa pang runway is yung runway 13. Okay, so which is um 130, right? Medyo may lag ng konti sa aking pag-iisip. Kasi nga medyo busy yung road. Now, ito na naman yung pasok na naman tayo sa highway. Alright. So, nasa Naiya pa rin tayo. Naiya area. And if you if the map will show you, to our right is actually multinational area, multinational village, plus some commercial spaces here. Most of the commercial spaces here will be associated with transport, with, you know, the aviation industry. Okay, so balik na tayo sa C5. We'll end this episode, everyone, when we exit the Toll Plaza and we join the actual C5 area. Okay, so let's limit this episode to just the C5 Southlink Expressway. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and click the notification bell. This channel will still have a lot of episodes to share with you. And you've seen the first episode that will really show you the plan in the future in order for us to get entertained para masuyod natin yung mga roads one by one. Somehow, kinakailangan natin ma-entertain. Kasi yung mga ganitong roads itself, this is entertaining enough, right? At nakita niyo yung view, kita niyo yung ano, yung BGC, kita niyo yung Makati. And up ahead, you'll see the Toll Plaza. And I believe this costs about below 30 pesos. Not really that much. So we'll see. So we'll see when we get there. This is a easy trip, guys. Okay. So this is not auto sweep. So this is the same as the Cavitex, which is under NLEX. Okay, so remember, C5 Southlink Expressway will be NLEX or easy trip. Yan, so 22 pesos. 22 pesos ang fee. Don't get an RFID and have it not loaded. Matitikitan kayo, mahal ang ticket. So before you exit, make sure that you have a balance in there. Okay, so this is the C5 and we'll end our episode here. We'll come up with another episode for the C5 itself. So I hope you enjoyed this episode for today. See you in our next episode and drive safe. All right. Have a good day and a weekend.